if you look at things in a larger vision instead of the daily, what happens today and what happens tomorrow as affecting everything, if it's different than what you expected, if you just keep on going where you want to go, things come into your universe that you'll never expect that is so much better than what you thought.
You've had a lot of things come into your universe.
Absolutely. And I'm a believer. I'm finally becoming a true believer, and that's the way it really works.
Oh, it's funny that when you talk about, I mean, it reminds me of the saying that, you've never lost a game, that maybe just the clock has run out on you.
That's true. That's really true.
A good friend of mine says that, and, a couple stories that it reminds me of is my uncle, who I just lost, was a vitamin rep with a fella that started the business that he went to high school with. They started it in the garage. My uncle was the main rep and got all the relationships going. I'm sorry. At age 40, his friend sold the company. And when he sold the company for hundreds of millions, he gave my uncle something like a year's pay and said, "Thanks a lot." And my uncle's not bitter by nature. He was actually, your normal Jewish Catskills relative. Right?
Catskill, all right.
Yeah. And, like the shtick around the house was always, kept me out of college, high school, all that stuff. This happens. He's now looking for a job. He's around 40. I mean, he didn't make millionaire money. He made a good living. He traveled a lot and kids through school and paid for his house and et cetera. And soon after this, he's a passenger in a car and gets in an accident and gets his neck broken.
Ooh.
And he's got the halo and he can't move and he's in bed. And I can't remember if this was 6 months or a year, but a long time in bed. And while this went on, he decided to call the drugstores and Walmarts, et cetera, that he had relationships with. And I think my aunt had to hold the phone, and the buyers really only knew him. And by the time he was out of bed, he was just doing vitamin fulfillment through fax machine, making more than when he had a job.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I mean, not that his neck got broken, but that his neck got broken led him down a better direction than he could have figured out without his neck being broken.
Right. He said that if the job never went away, he would have never thought of another thing. And the second half of his life or so was much better for his freedom and income and what he did and everything else. So when you said that, it really reminded me of him.
Yeah, well, that happens. I mean, if you really think about it, just about everybody has a story if they've persevered, if they've kept going. Everybody has a story that's like that, sort of like a miracle.
This has been Jeff Stearns, Connected Through Cars.